Hey friends, Jacob Fox here. Just got some amazing news that the Godot 4.0 Beta 2 released, and with it, my most anticipated changes and updates to the Godot engine and to GDScript. So, we're getting right into it. Intro will be at the end, so stay tuned for that if you'd like. But in the meantime, of the many changes introduced with Godot 4.0, this Beta 2 adds exporting custom resources. Now, thanks to the entire Godot team for supporting this feature, but especially thanks to Will Nations, who apparently did most of the development. It's very exciting, and this is, if you're familiar with my channel, you'll know that I use custom resources constantly for pretty much all of my data management. So it is huge and something that I will be using, and this is actually what made me want to pour over my debut title, Verdancy Vale, into Godot 4.0 from 3.5. So let's look at exporting custom resources and explore it a little bit and talk about 4.0. And just for the record, yeah, I haven't messed around with 4.0 too much, but this was too good for me to stay away. So I went ahead and I made a new project, and I made a global singleton with a couple of enums just so that I could show off kind of using custom resources and that kind of stuff. So let's see, I made an item class. Here you'll see for the directives like export, you have to add an @ sign before it now in Godot 4, and there are different sorts of exports in Godot 4. So something to keep in mind if you're porting your project over from 3 or from earlier versions. So this item class calls out class name item, extends resource, has a name that's a string, a multi-line, so you'll see multiple line strings, and then I went ahead and made this export range to see what the quantity is. We'll say int, and then let's make it 0 by default. This will keep the integer in between 0 and 99 with a step value of 1, so you can go up or down by 1. Next, I made a quest class. As you see, class name quest, the name of the quest, the giver of the quest, and we're going to call out this enum that I declared with the NPC names, as well as the steps. And here is where you can see me calling out my other custom resource types. So I will go into quest step in a second, but here you see rewards is an array of items. Now, something to be added, Godot and GDScript as a whole is dynamically typed, which means that historically and still in Godot 4.0 and into the future, with using GDScript 2 and beyond, you don't have to declare the type of your variables. So you could leave this, it'll probably yell at me because it's an export variable, and export variables you have to know, but you could say var elbows and it'll be fine with that. You don't have to know what kind of variable it is. However, with 4.0 and the introduction of GDScript 2, static typing becomes vastly more performant. There are all sorts of benchmarks that may or may not be on the screen right now that go through how much extra performance there is potential for with static typing. Now, I'm a C guy, I'm used to languages that have static typing, so I just kind of do it by habit, but I do recommend doing it if you know what your variables are, what types they're going to be. Fantastic. Or if you have a function that says add nums and you have num1, num2, this you could take floats or ints, whatever it might be, but you should add what type they're going to be, just because it helps you for debugging, especially if you have more people working on your team than just yourself. So anyway, filibustering. Here you see I'm calling out the type of array, which is also new in Godot 4.0. Here's my quest step class. All I have is I'm using the enum global quest types from my global vars singleton right here. So I have collect, defeat, and speak. And my NPCs, I have John, Paul, George, and Ringo. A step class, it just has quest type. You can have all sorts of different things there as well, but then it shows your steps. So let's go ahead and let's make an item first off. Go down, click on new resource, and then I already made it my favorite, but right here I'll just search item, and then it's UC item class.gd. We'll create that. We'll say item 001. I like to use IDs like that, but you can name them more verbosely if you'd like. Up in the inspector now, we have a name. Let's call this gold. Text, you say this shiny object is useful And then quantity, we'll leave it at 0 because this is just the base repo item. Now, we're going to go ahead and make a new resource of type quest. We'll say quest 001 as before. And now double click on it and you can see all the items up in the right side. We'll give it a name. We will say this is called Who Knocked on My Door? We'll say the giver is Ringo. Now we have steps. So this is the cool part. This is what's mostly different, right? Over here to the left, you see that you can call out an array of quest steps, which is a custom defined resource type. Now here, clicking this, you up the size or add an element, and from this drop down, automatically quest step is there. So what I called out in the code is defined in this drop down, which is huge. This used to be you would have to call out resource here, and then you would have to find it in the drop down list, and it was such a pain to do so. So here, like I said, quest step, click on this, and now you see the quest type here, and you have a drop down because we did an enum. So maybe this is speak, like you have to speak to somebody. And then you can have all different sorts of tool scripts, even if you want in these resources to kind of define what the other variables are. If you want to hear more about tool resources or stuff like that, or tool scripts, take a look at the video in the top right that I made a couple months back. So that is the main benefit of, oh, interesting. Oh, it didn't save. That's interesting. Well, that's a bug with beta 2. This is very early in its release, so it's expected that it will have a few bugs and that this will be fixed very shortly. So anyway, that is huge though. I'm all about that. And as above here, we can either create a new item, or we made our item underscore 001, and we can just drag it in here, say that it, or it won't work. Let's load. How about that? Again, beta 2 released very recently. So, interesting. Interesting. Well, bugs happen. Regardless, you should be able to drop that in. Hopefully that will be fixed very soon. Not sure about that, honestly, got to be quite honest. But as you can see, the structure is there. Hopefully these bugs will be fixed soon. Something I'm very excited for, and I just wanted to share how it will be done. Hopefully, like I said, it'll be fixed. And again, huge thanks to Will Nations for doing this development. There are some improvements that are being worked on at the moment too. Hopefully this will be fully fleshed out by the time 4.0 achieves its stable release. So anyway, that is all for the exporting custom resources that I wanted to talk about. Godot 4.0 is very exciting, and thank you all for watching all of this. Now I'm gonna talk a little bit about myself and my channel, so stay tuned if you're interested or not. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. So I have been very quiet for the past couple months on my channel, and there are a few reasons for that. Namely, I was applying for full-time jobs so that I could afford to hire artists for my team to develop my game, Verdant Veil. I realized that, you know, I wasn't going to be able to create art up to my high standards, and I needed to bring on others to help me with all that, to kind of realize my dreams and to help me create something awesome. So I got a job started a few weeks ago, and it's been going really well. And also, I did end up hiring around the same time an artist, an amazing Polish artist named Hubert. Some of his stuff is on the screen right now. He's working with me basically full time to bring this game to fruition. We're going to be doing a Kickstarter hopefully in the next 6 months or so. Might be a little longer, who knows. And then hopefully after that, bringing on more people to the team. If you're interested in learning more about my game, check out verdancyveil.net. I'm very excited about it. It really is it's my dream game, and something that I'm really looking forward to bringing to the world. So anyway, apologize for not uploading. I can't promise any sort of uploading schedules, but I do still want to keep creating guides and the like. So thank you so much for your continued support during this time. Like I said, you can go to my website, you can check out my Kickstarter from there to get a reminder when I go live. Also, if you're interested in tabletop role-playing games, my friends and I play D&D or Pathfinder or other TTRPGs every week and have for years. I will link the channel in the description below. You can check out the Twitch or the YouTube. But I have a lot of fun with the Starlight Company, so yeah, go ahead and check that out if you're interested. Otherwise, yeah, just thanks again for checking out this video, and stay tuned for more down the road. Hopefully some more Godot 4.0 coverage as we progress, and yeah, just great one, everyone.